It took 6 months from the first time we rode the Hero Destini 125 to the point where prices arrived and delivery started. They say the more intelligent an animal is, the longer their pregnancies tend to be. And that's why human babies take 9 months to show up. But is it that much smarter than the average 125cc scooter? Jokes aside, this is the reason there's no MotorInc First for the Destini 125. 6 months for all the information to come together, it's just way too long. And my personal annoyances on that front aside, this is actually a good scooter. To be precise, it is an average scooter. But in India, the average scooter is very good. I am not fully convinced by this design, but I'm happy to find that this is a rapid scooter to the point where it feels like a lot of fun. And if you don't ride like that, then you'll find it quiet, you'll find it smooth, and you'll find it fuel efficient. What I can't comment on yet is comfort. And that was the short version of the story, so here's the long one. On the engine front, Hero's not done a ton of work for the Destini 125. I tell you not to read any of the articles at the bottom of Hero's product webpage. It seems to reference scooters that I don't think are in production anymore. You'll just get confused. What you need to know is Hero has one 125cc scooter engine. This time they've retuned it a little bit to improve the rideability and the fuel economy of this engine. That's the engine that's in here. It's a good engine. And there's another scooter called the Destini Prime, the Transformer, and that also now has this engine. And honestly, I like this engine. The Destini 125 feels quick but never rushed. It has that secret punch that reminds me strongly of the Axis 125. And if you ride normally, the fuel gauge depletes with pleasant slowness. I really like it. Hero says fuel economy went up 3 kilometers per liter versus its old scooter. That might make it the best in class, which is kind of silly because they're all doing roughly the same, 45 to 50 kilometers per liter for most riders, normal conditions. And therefore, what I want to focus on and reiterate is how smooth, mechanically slick, and responsive the Destini 125 feels to ride. On average, Indian scooters are really good, and it takes Honda hubris to make some truly average products. The bar for electric scooters in India would also be sky high. Except that you guys keep buying the Olas. Hey, I want to invite you to try out the MotorInc app. The MotorInc app is free to download, and I'd like you to check out our guides. Guides bring together all the videos we've made on a product. It can be 25, 30 videos in all sometimes. And there's clear, concise opinion on everything you need to consider before you say, yes, I should buy this vehicle, or no, I should not get this vehicle, including what are the closest rivals and why you should consider them. Please try it out today and do let us know what you think. Versus the engine, a lot more work has gone into the Destini 125's frame. This scooter is the top variant. It has 12-inch wheels. Today, I think all scooters should just get 12-inch wheels as a basic piece of equipment. They bring comfort, they bring stability, they improve everything. On the Destini 125, further, the suspension was tuned for comfort, the weight was looked at again and optimized further, and the chassis geometry has also been tweaked further. The result is another feather in the rather full cap that belongs to the Hero chassis department. And it does begin like that. The Destini 125 feels so natural, happy, and pleasant to ride in almost all situations. The riding position is nice, and that seat, I think that's a segment benchmark. It's low, it's flat, and it's firm enough so you don't sink into it. And that sinking feeling is common to so many scooters today. It's unbelievable. In short, I think the Destini 125 is ahead of other scooters, even if it is by a matter of millimeters. But then you'll remember that stiff feeling of the suspension that you noticed initially, it's still there. And as you put more kilometers, you become aware that the ride is bouncy and jittery and strangely unsettled. I was mystified by it. There's no preload adjustment on the scooter, so you can't tune it out that way. I didn't understand it. The rear bounces more than a basketball in a week-long tournament. And as soon as I added a pillion to my ride, things started to make sense. It's as if the Destini's suspension could have been designed for solo riding or two-up riding, not both, and Hero has chosen the latter. Add the weight of a pillion into your ride and the Destini just settles down. It even feels sophisticated, And at that point, only the very largest of bumps will you notice it bounces a couple of times before it settles down. The upshot of it for me, 2 up, you'll be fine, but if you ride scooters solo a lot, you can just ignore the Hero Destini 125, it's not comfortable enough. Let's quickly run through the cornering manners. A family scooter like this, it doesn't have to do much more than give you confidence when you're changing directions and when you're on the brakes. And this, the Destini does. This particular variant has a front disc brake. It's powerful but not too sharp. It feels friendly enough. And whether you're taking a slow speed turn or a high speed turn, the chassis firmly feels capable, trustworthy, and predictable. The tires are grippy. It's not going to surprise you. The Destini earns your trust easily with a sense of pleasant eagerness. Sorted. Where the Hero falters, I think, is the design. And to be specific to this particular color, this is the top model in black with the copper chrome highlights. And I think this is the worst looking colors of the whole lot. If you must have the copper chrome, I'd suggest you try the white one instead. And the lower models of the Hero have regular chrome, and I think they look better than this, especially in navy blue. To me, the design is slightly bewildering. And to me, that means 2025 Hero design completely normal. They just haven't found their feet yet. If you start from the back, you have a double tail unit which looks odd, triple if you count the backrest. The front is kind of shapeless, where the chrome elements were supposed to give it some definition, but this copper is too dark to do it, yada yada yada. And between those two extremes is a neatly normal looking family scooter, to the point where most people don't even notice that you're riding a brand new product. This scooter is all Indian, Desh ki mitti and everything, but what the Destini 125 has on top of that is anonymity. Sorry, couldn't resist. And then there are some really odd details. The chassis number of the Destini 125 is stamped into the side of the frame, which forces Hero's designers to leave a hole there. On this black scooter, it's not too noticeable. On the lighter colors, there's a hole there. Second, the pillion foot pegs are huge, as if your pillion is going to be a silverback, or as if the Destini is destined to be part of the chariot races in Gladiator 3. Fourth, there's a Destini badge that points directly at the ground. It's right above the front fender, and I think the idea was that the badge would reflect in the chrome. Cool. When I was trying to show Karthikeya this badge, all I could see was the both of us reflected in the chrome. It's not even lit. I don't know why it's there. Fifth, when you open the seat, you'll discover that the space under the seat is rather well designed. The storage is not huge, but the Destini badge there is absolutely massive. And as far as I can tell, the design brief for the badge, it was JLTFT. But if you leave the oddities aside, there are two things that I think Hero needs to think about. First, the Destini 125 should have had a rear brake lock. I consider it essential equipment on automatic scooters, to the point where I wish the government would just mandate it and say, if you make an automatic scooter, it must have a rear brake lock. Done. Second, Hero's done a really nice job of rethinking scooter switchgear. These are a completely new design. They are very good to use, and all the switches are nice and tactile, except for the indicator cancel button, which you cannot feel click. And what that means is, hundreds of kilometers of riding this, I still found myself looking down to check if my indicators were on or off. But this is a good scooter. I've enjoyed riding it around a bit, and I do happen to love scooters, and I thoroughly enjoy the idea that as a group, scooters in India are generally extremely competent. And that's why we can laugh at them without feeling like we're being unfair. I don't think the Destini 125 is a great design, but design is subjective. If you like it, let me know in the comments. What I'm pretty sure about is under this skin, you will find a lot to like. You, your partner, your parents, your partner's parents, you'll all find aspects of this scooter thoroughly enjoyable. And if you ride two up a lot, you'll also find it very comfortable. Solo, that kind of controlled comfort is just not possible. And therefore, what I am left to warn you about is just one more thing, which is living with the Destini 125 may not be the easiest thing ever. I'm not expecting mechanical issues. This is not a brand new product in that sense. But this does have to be serviced in the Hero service network, which is crowded, there are queues there, and that can be frustrating and slightly worrisome. What remains stuck in my mind is how lovely this engine feels to ride. I keep wishing for a sharper, sportier scooter, sort of like the TVS Ntorq based on this motor. But because the Destini 125 doesn't really stand out by itself, I think there is a large question mark about what happens to its sales and popularity. I think it's pretty clear that in India, creating a product that mimics the appeal and ability of the market leader doesn't usually create a big result. And whether you look at the Honda Activa or the Suzuki Axis 125 as the benchmark, I don't think this is going to make a dent. But if you think about it, the Honda Activa 7G, which is still in the future, the Axis 125, which is here now, they have both taken a long time to come to market. If those are interminable pregnancies, then those scooters might turn out a lot more intelligent than this one. Oh boy. For Hero's sake, I hope they don't.